this introduction video to Couture, a small plugin for Maya which will help you to create clean topology for your clothes. I would like to thank all the people who gave me some very nice comments when I released the first video 2 months ago, and also to thank all the people who were in the beta and gave me feedback, as well as my good friend Rémi Delotrin, who helped me to clean some final bug before the release. I will divide this video in 3 parts. The first one will be how to install the plugin, how to use it, and the last one will be about some error that can happen when we are working with retopology and with Couture, and how to avoid it or fix these issues. By the way, the tool is not 100% perfect, and in the few days or maybe week, I probably will have to update some issues. So the best thing for you to do is to follow me on social media, Instagram, Twitter, or whatever, and I will release new updates, so you will have the newest version, so it's better, it will work better, I think. Without further ado, I will start with the installation, so follow me on the screen. Okay, so now let's talk about how to install Couture. So you just go to Gumroad, you download the package, and then you go to your folder. So in your, for me, for example, it's in my user document, and I go to Maya, the version of Maya script, and then I created a folder called Couture with a capital C. And then you just have to unpack everything into that specific folder. When you've done this step, basically you have like 80% of the work. So you just have now you just need the code to launch Couture. So one thing to say is that I created a Wikipedia on my blog, and you will see all the information about, for example, installation on it. So if I can find the right page here, yep. So everything I say in the video, you can find it in this page. So you just have to, either you can launch the code that you can find here on this little file called launching code. Here you have it, or you can go to shelf. I created a shelf for you, so just have to load it inside Maya. Before, I advise you to check for the path of your icons if you want to add the nice looking button. You just have to edit. It's the same folder as the one we just discussed 30 seconds ago. So let's jump to Maya, and you can see here I have my shelf that I can load from this menu and save all shelf. So now we'll be talking about how to use Couture. For this example, I will show you here. I have a scene ready for doing some retopo. So I'm working in a company called ISCO. We are in Paris, and we are a 3D scanning company, and we do mostly digital human. So I had the opportunity to scan myself, because I also wanted to create my own digital double, and to, you know, push things I know about, you know, for example, grooming. I created all my beard, my hair. I scanned my whole body, even my shoes here. And right now I have this this trouser. Actually, it's not scanned, this one. I created this one in Marvelous because I wanted to have, you know, try different approach and methods. So just I'm gonna get rid of the aliasing to have a faster scene. And you know, Couture is about creating clean topology from a garment from Marvelous, for example, but also from scanned data. For example, this one here is a t-shirt that I scanned. Actually, it's more of a placeholder because I did not want to be naked in front of you. I've also planned to create something else, but right now let's do this with this trouser. It's actually a real trouser I have from the brand Ami. It's a very nice French brand. So let's go. Okay, so we have now the window. We can dock it where we want. So just a quick word about the user interface. So here we have the outliner. Every part of garment, patterns, retopo will be just right there in this interface, in this outliner. So it's basically you can still use both of them, but here you will have only what's used by Couture will be here. So we have like two options, but we will talk about it in a few seconds. You can delete or add new piece of clothes, garment, etc. Here you have three groups of quick and useful button, which will allow you to control visibility, to lock, or to select the object that are corresponding to all the steps. So just a quick word what I mean by these names. So for me there is like three steps in this workflow. The first one is called but it's the garment step. So basically it's just when you import your object from, for example, Marvelous, so you have your 3D piece of garment. Then we'll have the pattern one, which is exactly the same thing but on a 2D flat surface. So basically we'll have the same index for each of those model and the same UVs. And then you will have the retopo, so the model that you will be creating in, for example, ZBrush or by hand in Maya, that share the same aspect but have a nice topology. So you will find everything here back in the Wikipedia, and that's when I will refer to garment, pattern, and retopo. I will talk about those three steps. So let's go back. Okay, so first thing here, third thing is to check the UVs. We work on the same mesh but flattened into a 2D surface. So basically, if our UVs are not laid out perfectly, or not perfectly, but at least in a convenient way, it will be harder to work. For example, sometimes if you have a model from Marvelous Designer, you will have all the UVs on top of each other, very big, and it's not good for us. It's better to, for example, if you don't have it, to layer UVs with this button, but I already have some nice UVs here, so I won't do it again. But you can just click on this button and it will do the job for you. Then when you are satisfied enough, you can start both garments. And now you see we have everything here. We can for example, this one is inside, yeah, and select them. We can if you see here in the UV, I'm selecting them, for example, and etc. So we can also there's favorite option. So if you click on the little star, it's jumping up in the list. So then you will have those three groups. So if you see here, I can hide, I can lock the selection here, I can select one. So it's very useful. Then we'll have like the retopo part of the tool, and I will start with the first one, which is flatten garments. It will take like 30 seconds because it's a model at like 160K, so it's a bit heavy. But if you have something like 2K, for example, or 30K, it will be 1 or 2 seconds. It's very fast. So I will start it, and I will see you in a few minutes. Okay, so now we have the patterns perfectly created, as you can see here. So now the new step in the process is to create a clean topology. So you have two solutions. You can create it right here, right now on Maya. You can use it, for example, with you can go with the modeling tool and just create your own, or you can export the pattern. You have a few options, as you can see here. So you can export them in OBJ, FBX, what you want, and do this process in any software that you like. Or you can use my favorite, the Ghosty button, which will allow you to send everything to ZBrush and to create an automatical topology. Not a perfect one, but at least a good start. So let's go. I will create a zero measure. Okay. All right. And then I will take everything back to Maya. Okay. So now we are back in Maya. We have this group of mesh. And now we are ready to do this step, the pairing step, which will, in fact, Couture will know how to understand which one goes with which of those meshes. So let's show you. Oh, sorry. First thing is you have to define, if you import a model from elsewhere, you have to select it, or even if you are, in fact, if you're importing it, it will be marked as retopo, or if you do it by your own, or if you use the Gauzy importer, you have to select it first. But as you can see, each step is in the script. I tried to take as many warning as possible to avoid that people get lost during the process. So you see here, okay, you can't do this step right now. You have to import or select your retopo. So let's go. And now you see this new group here. And now it's okay. We can use the pairing flatten geometry. And now if you see here, all the names are relevant to the correct group. Now you can also use the outliner, and you see that for each garment we have all the children associated with, so you can easily select them. You can look at them, you can create your own favorite. I think this is very handy, but you can also use the outliner. It's up to you. Here you have a little hand, but we'll talk about it later. So basically, if something goes wrong, this will help you to correct the mess, because how it's working is just like Couture is looking for the bounding box of each meshes, and if it's like very close, it will know, okay, this is the good mesh, and if it's too far away, it won't work. So you will have to maybe do it manually and correct stuff. So that's how it's working. But we'll see this in detail in the third part of the video. Then we will transfer UVs from the topology that we created to this new topology. And now we're able to create blend shapes between actually those ones, the triangulated one, and those ones on 3D. So let's do it. Alright, and now boom, we can go back and forth between 2D and 3D. Notice that here you can also do it one by one, because sometimes it could be easier to work on one part and whatever. And then the last part is to create a wrap between the patterns and the retopos. So let's go. Could take a bit of time, but nothing compared to the first step. And then boom, everything follows. So that means that now you are able to modify it in 2D and in 3D. So let's have a look. You can also, because sometimes you can have some issues with normal. You can soften edge because the Bitopo came from a flat surface and then they're applied in 3D. So sometimes the normal are not quite good. So you have to do that. And now you are able to edit it as you like. So you can select, for example, all those and click on this one, edit. They're starting to be green. That means that you are editing them. And let's do something stupid, but just for sake of showing you how it's working, I will take my cut here and just do crazy random stuff. Okay, yeah, and on this one I will do like a sort of a pocket, I don't know, whatever. So okay. Okay, perfect. So let's say that okay, so I don't like I like in fact what I did here on the surface 12. So you know what? Let's cancel anything else but the 12. Okay, so we can cancel selection. Okay, so here nothing happened. So everything perfectly in place. Notice also that you can, can still come to this feature, but you won't be able to do it on the edited surface. And then you can apply to the selection. And if we are good now, we should have our little pocket. It's not like a pocket, more like a knee pad, something like that. So right now it's totally fine. We can use it as well. And oh, look at that. We have our modification here in 2D. So you know what? Let's start to do another pocket stuff. But I did here on 2D, which without, sorry, I did it without using the edit selection. You could do it. Normally it should work perfectly. Just, I think it's better to use the edit selection because you have like a way to go back without, screwing everything, because we know we have wrap on this surface. So I think it's more clean to use the edit selection. So I will just try to go back. I hope it won't crash. No. You see, yeah, you see why I did this. I think I can't really, you see, it's very, yeah. That's why I created this function, because it's not possible to go back. Unless you have lots of undos, but you see it's very hard. So the best thing to do actually is to go there, select your shape, edit selected, and then up, cut your shape, up, and then you apply it. So you have no mistake. You are sure that you like what you do, and it's okay. So that's it for now. Two things more that I want to discuss with you in this part of the video. I know that creating topology is very long, very painful, and sometimes you could have some crash from Maya, because when you're using some of those tools, Maya can be a bit lazy. So I had a function that allow you to reload Couture, and basically you have nothing to do with that. You just have to click on it again, and it will load exactly like you left it, unless for the favorite. I have to admit, I didn't thought about it, but it's not a big deal. But still, you can select them once again. Oh, this one is inside. Okay, and you can you know, edit once again. So let's do that again. So I want to select this one, it, okay, tac. All right, and you could even, you know, okay, let's reload, and Couture still know how to take this, and boom. So you can save your file and reload it later. So if you have a very complicated clothes, I think it's very handy. How does it work? It's simple. Basically, if you go here and tag object, you have to turn it off. So my scene is like a scene from XGen. I used it for render, so it's very messy here. So let's try to find this one here. Okay, so we have Couture data node, and what is Couture data node is a black box. Like you will have anything which concern your progress in the process. So each time you are doing one step, I'm making sure that you have achieved the previous one. Here we have the dictionary that holds everything, every pair of meshes. Here we have the blend shapes, some information for me, and about the scale of the scene. So everything is here. So that means that if you delete this, you won't be able to reload it. It will be a shame. But if you want to restore it, you have two options. You can, you know, just delete these ones, and yeah, okay, it's fine. Or you can use this one, the restart Couture button. So let's do that. It's undoable, so be careful. But my tool will save a version of it before actually resetting it, so it won't be lost forever. But I prefer to, you know, that everyone is aware that it's a big action. So okay, yes, it will take a bit of time because my scene is heavy, and it says, yeah, okay, backup file is here, so you can open it right here, and you have this saved inside your script folder. So be aware also that you might have some very heavy scene saved on your computer, so just be aware of that. Okay, so now Couture is totally clean. Okay, so one more thing that you can do with the outliner, you can manage the piece that you have here, and you can delete or add a new piece of clothes if you want to add something later, for example. So let's just say that we want to get rid of this one. This is actually number 11, so I'm gonna delete number 11. Okay, so it's now it's not anymore in the scene, and I will bring it back in a few seconds. So I have everything ready for it. So you just import the new piece, you flatten this special piece, and then you can do the retouch. So you can, as you can see, you can, you know, export with ZBrush or export as it please you. But I did this step already, so now I have this. So sometimes there is, you know, some OBJ error importation, that kind of code. I don't know if you heard about it, but in fact we have like a window behind the importer. So you know what, I'm gonna just gonna get no, I'm gonna get rid of this because I don't think it's imported. It was imported properly. I will start again. Okay, let's do this. The only thing is that you just have to move the window if you can't see it, or you know, just click push the escape key. Okay, I think I will I will correct this issue before the release if I have time. Okay, so now okay, we can add this garment. All right, and now we're ready. We have the new piece. And the beauty of it is that Couture will know exactly where you are in your progression. So if I add this piece right now, it will have blend shape like it should be. But if you import this piece, for example, even before pairing geometry, you will have anything you need to keep going with this new piece. So you should have no issue with this new piece at all, I hope. Okay, so now let's talk about the issues that you can have working on topology with Couture, and especially the issues that come from other software. So for example, here I have first situation which is bad. As you can see here, we have a mesh which is totally fine. Like I can move and grab vertices, and everything is perfect. But behind the polygons, there is a sad reality, and the reality here is like we have 200k vertex. But it's a lie. It's a lie which came from Marvelous Designer. I don't know why, but it's a lie. I will show you in a few minutes why it's a lie and why it's important to correct this. It's because when I click on flatten garment, I will use with Couture, I will use all the UV coordinates and move each vertices to create a planar version of each part of the garment. So if I have like maybe some hidden vertices inside it, it would be a very big issue for me. And what you can do here to see if there is something wrong is that you can do a merge with a very small threshold, and look at the difference. Oh, there was in fact just 30k vertices. So now this one should work perfectly, and this one won't work. But it's very simple in this case because it's like a big part of mesh, and it's separated from any part. But if it was like a belt, it's much more complicated. And the easier solution that I found would be to create a zero measure of it inside ZBrush, or a decimation master inside ZBrush, and it could create a new topology a bit more clean. Or you can try to export it again from Marvelous Designer, because it's Marvelous Designer created this issue. Or maybe not, maybe it's because of the separation of a single object in Maya. I don't know exactly who is to blame, which one is to blame, but someone is to blame. Okay, still in the mesh quality thing. Here is the number 2. I have this mesh which comes directly from ZBrush, and ZBrush can do an amazing job, but you should never trust topology which came out of ZBrush. And I will show you an example. So basically, as I said to you, this function just look at one object and the other, and compare the center of pivot for both objects. So it's very important that we can do a center pivot on imported geometry, so everything is in the middle. So you can see it's looking pretty nice. But this one, the default group, for some reason, okay, that's the center pivot. So I don't know why, but the pivot is like doing crazy stuff. Maybe because it was the first mesh, so got some node from the previous mesh, and even the separate cannot do it properly. So if you're selecting the vertices, it looks like it's normal, totally normal, but the thing is, like, something is wrong. And how can I fix that? The first thing is, like, you can obviously create, just like we did before, we can use where are you, merge, oh come on, sorry for that. Yeah, I'm still a bit lost with the new new menu. Okay, so now, boom, yay, now I can center pivot. Wait, let's do this. Now it's okay. And now we get rid of the vertices or whatever that were hidden in the mesh, and now it's okay. Now we will be able to perform those steps. Okay, so back again with one little issue that you can have. As I said here, during this step, Couture will compare the center pivot of the new object that you imported with the pattern object. So for example, sometimes the algorithm can fail. It should be not happening a lot, but it could. So let's try to do that. I will, move this one away, and let's do it. Okay, so it said to me that this pattern, the number 9, did not find a new mesh. So how can we do that? Here you have a little hand that will help you to find your mesh. For example, it's the number 9, so I can select it, and then it will find the right pattern because they are already in the group, the same group. And now we can select this one, and we can pair the meshes, and now it should work as expected. So we solved this issue, so that's perfect. And now I can create blend shapes, and it will work exactly like it should. So this problem is solved.